We boys all happy out in there. Huh? Sure, how would that not make you smile? So look, we've come to Livingstone's today just to try and get our head around the new virtual tractor run that they are planning, and I've just took a wee step out of the shade there, take a wee look at the cows. Always like to get a wee look around the cows, some of the calves. So this year it's going to be different. These guys have raised an awful lot of money over the last number of years for the charities involved. I mean, it started out all those years ago with the Southern Hospice, which was very personal to the Livingstone family themselves. Then as the tractor run and the committee grew, the Children's Hospice was introduced. And then in the last few years, the much needed air ambulance was introduced. And these charities are really, really struggling, particularly this year with COVID, with all the extra restrictions and stuff. So, we tried to have a wee chat, socially distanced chat, with some of the representatives on the Livingstones about the changes and what exactly is happening. So, look guys, I ask you please to support it and try and raise a few quid. None of us some poor chap with an awful lot of washing to do here some of these days. Oh, another big game. There you go. Always nice to get a wee walk around, see what we can see. So, anyway, delighted to be involved with the Livingstone tractor on this year again, so please watch and get information as how you can take part and how we can donate, and let's make this special. Thank you.
So Neville, you're here with us today from the Southern Hospice, and it's a bit of a windy day as well, so I hope it's not too bad here today.
You have to put up a whole lot of things.
But Neville, I suppose the Southern Hospice were the first kind of charity that got involved with the Livingstone's tractor run. So I suppose maybe tell me a little bit about that and how many years you've been alongside the Livingstones.
Well, believe it or not, I've been with them right from the very start of the whole thing. They started off because of their mother had been in the hospice, and when she passed away, they wanted to do something to try and support the hospice, and so they started the tractor run. I was there from the very start. This
year, especially being a hard year for charities to raise money, how have you found that's affected you, and how the tractor run is obviously such a big part of that?
This year has been difficult because of COVID-19. It's left that the hospice hasn't been able to do any of their own charity work that they would have done. They would have maybe had walks in Spain, Italy, China, places like that, and because of COVID-19 now they can't do any of that, so that has lost them a lot of revenue. So they're delighted that the Livingstone family are still trying to do something.
And it's such an important thing to be involved with as well, that you're still able to raise the money, even with all of this going on, that they're able to have the virtual tractor run, that people can still donate that way as well.
Yes, it's good, and it might, you know, in the situation, you never know, you might pick up a few new people into the situation. Just to raise as much funds as possible. It probably won't be as big, I would say, as previous years, but if it's only a fiver, it's a fiver they never had, and that's just the way that they look at it.
Yeah, and every little helps.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time today anyway, Neville.
Thank you very much.
And I hope you get a safe trip home with the wind that's blowing outside.
Yeah, okay, right, thanks.
Perfect, thank you.
Well everybody, I'm joined by Liz here, who volunteers for the air ambulance. Thanks for coming and having a quick chat with us, Liz, but this is very important for you, this whole cause, and how has 2020 affected things for the air ambulance service, because I'm sure it can't have been easy.
Yes, this has been an extremely tough year for the air ambulance. As you can understand, fundraising for any charity is paramount. And with COVID-19, this year has been an exceptionally difficult year because most charities do depend on fundraising events.
Absolutely, and I mean, the air ambulance as a charity, we ourselves at GRASSMEN are very close with, and we spent a lot of time. We had dates organised in our diary for rural training for the crew, and like we did last year, and all had to be cancelled, and it's things like that that is valuable, but also that along with the extra money. But what the guys have done here at in the Livingstone tractor run is they're showing a great deal of resilience and determination at trying to make something happen, and I suppose that's why you're here, but I suppose that's a good thing because it's hard for people to get out and try something different.
Yes, this year the Livingstone family do a tractor run every year, and this is their 9th year, And with the pandemic, at one of the meetings we didn't know whether we were going to be able to run an event, so the suggestion for a virtual tractor run was put forward, and thankfully with everybody's help we're able to go ahead and try and do the virtual tractor run, which is a new way of raising money for any charity.
Absolutely. And the air ambulance is something, Liz, if you don't mind me just touching on it a wee second, it's something that's very, very personal to you. It's something that you've been behind really since it's came here, because you feel that had there have been an air ambulance in the go a few years ago, things in your life might have been slightly different.
Yes, we lost our daughter in April 2016. At that stage, there was no air ambulance. She was killed by a hit and run. From that, we felt that it was a very much needed service, especially for victims of trauma incidents. It may not have made a difference for our daughter, but we feel that it could make a difference for somebody else.
Absolutely, and we ourselves are behind you in that. It's an absolutely vital service, and it's that the speed at which they can get the vital help out there. Thank you very much, Liz, for coming and sharing that with us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, Jenny, we're here with you today with Livingstone's. I understand that you're here with us from the Children's Hospice.
We were first introduced to the Children's Hospice in 2003 when our family were referred there because of my two children, Jack and Michael, who needed the hospice's help. The hospice we gave us support for 10 years of the boys' lives, and they helped the whole family. They were a great support. I don't know how we would have coped with their illnesses without the hospice. They came and looked after the boys, but we also went to their facilities down in Belfast and maybe had a weekend off, and the boys used to love it, and they used to call it the hotel.
The tractor run would be a big deal, I suppose, for the Children's Hospice then and for yourselves. Tell me a little bit about how it's affected you this year with COVID and everything like that.
The tractor run over the last few years has been a great supporter of the Northern Ireland Children's Hospice and has helped raise a fantastic amount of money. This year, the Children's Hospice, along with nearly every other charity you can think of, is in desperate need for the money and the support. People have been great in years past, and I have no doubt that people will rally again this year and support us as well. Even though we can't be there in our actual tractors, by virtually helping we can help raise more money.